Marcus, DQNQ Lifestyle Podcast, and gonna do a little series in which we delve into my therapy report. So apologise for the scrimpling of the paper, but so it go. So this is my end of therapy report. So you have a therapy report when you first, so you go on you get there for 2 months. You used to have an assessment period. I think they scrapped that after a bit. So I had an assessment period where I got my first report, and it's an amalgamation of your index offence and anything that they've seen in that moment in time that goes into the domains, the different domains. So there's like 4 domains, and I think in each domain is about 4 other subcategories. So for example, the first domain is antisocial attitudes / offence supported beliefs, and within that there is antisocial authoritarian attitudes, denial and minimization, sexual preference, preoccupation, criminal peers, violent fantasies, lack of empathy, callousness. So of those 6, I had 4. I didn't have the sexual preference and preoccupation, and I didn't have violent fantasies. So yeah, let's get into it. So this is the background of the offender, including developmental and offending history, but it doesn't have no developmental or offending history. It literally just has what they call the index offence, which is like the main offence. Beards just mentally, it just feels like it's going into my mouth. So yeah, so it's a bit of a funny one because it's a bit embarrassing, like for the reason for it. Do you know what I mean? But it's just how petty life is. That's just how it goes. Like these things happen, and there's no real reason for it. Like I say, it's all feelings based, and that's just not me. That's just everybody. So anyway, we'll get into it. Mr. Brown, that's me, has been sentenced for offences of wounding ×2 and possession of a knife. All offences are connected to an altercation which occurred in the toilets of the Paris nightclub in the early hours of Sunday, the 7th of June 2015. Mr. Brown, that's me, recollected that he was using the urinal at the nightclub and made some comment as to how small the toilet area was, and there were 3 people in there, which made it crowded. There was 4. She got that wrong. This is my probation officer at the time. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is like 7 or 8 probation officers ago. This probation system's mad, mash up. Where am I? Crowded. He stated at this point the toilet attendant was present. He was the 4th guy, but left the area as the verbal exchanges began. To be honest, I can't even really remember now when he left, but it wasn't there when it popped. So Mr. Brown said that following a verbal argument which he described as banter, in quotation marks, it was apparent to him that one of the victims was getting agitated and a bit of pushing took place between himself and one of the males. Bearing in mind, this version of events is me trying to worm my way out of it. So there was no pushing back and forth. I'm trying to make it out like they were the aggressors to a degree, or he was. He remembers the second male trying to get between them, like not saying that he's doing much, he's just getting between. At this point, Mr. Brown said he lashed out with his arms at both males, then left the club and went home with his friend who had entered the club with him. It was not clear whether his friend had been in the toilet area during the altercation or if he was waiting outside. Witness statements indicate there was another male in the doorway, but it would seem he did not get involved in the argument and subsequent assaults. Mr. Brown had attended the club with an acquaintance he had met earlier in the day and arranged to meet for a drink that night. They had been to pubs in the city centre before going to the Paris nightclub. To be honest, I can't remember where we went. I don't remember going anywhere because we were supposed to hit all the bars. If you know Sheffield, we were supposed to hit all the bars on like West Street, really. And then I wanted to finish up there. This guy's mashed it up. It's all mashed up. You know what I mean? Like, so I think I swear we just ended up going there. Or maybe one place before. I was just fuming, so I had it already in me, like this annoyance on top of something else that I'll mention in a bit. They had been to the pubs in the city centre before going to the Paris nightclub. Mr. Brown informed me he had consumed an alcoholic drink in each, no more than a handful, in quotation marks, in his estimation. He could not remember how many more drinks he had inside the pub but informed me that he had drunk brandy and coke, which is a regular alcoholic drink for him. He did, at one point, question whether a drink could have been spiked. This is me trying to get out of it. Trying to say loss of control kind of thing, you know what I mean? In the nightclub, due to his extreme reaction to the somewhat petty argument about the size of the toilet area in the nightclub. Really embarrassing. When he was arrested some weeks later and questioned about the incident, Mr. Brown informed me that he was shocked at the extent of the injuries to both victims and that he had expected them to be bruised rather than cut. He cannot remember at which point he made the decision to get the knife out of his back pocket and use it, but recalls dropping in the toilet area during the assaults. The reason he gave for being in possession of the knife was rather unconvincing. He said his friend, who he had met earlier in the evening, informed him he had a knife on his person. Sorry, I'm still ill. Like, it just seems to be getting worse. I actually woke up feeling ill today. Even though I've been ill, but not ill, but I felt more like actually ill. So the reason he gave for being in possession of the knife was rather unconvincing. He said his friend, who he had met earlier in the evening, informed him he had a knife on his person, and Mr. Brown stated he took it off him and put it in his back pocket as he did not want his friend to get into any trouble for having the knife. Everybody knows I carried knives. You know what I mean? During them days there. Like, so obviously I'm just lying there. Where was it? Trouble for having a knife. I asked him why he kept the knife, especially as he was entering the club and not disposed of it, but Mr. Brown could not offer any explanation for this other than to say the knife was only small and folded up so it fit into his pocket easily. He said he was searched when he entered the club. I wasn't searched because I knew the bouncers. Entered the club, but the knife was not discovered. I asked Mr. Brown, obviously they didn't know I had a knife on, just to exonerate them. They didn't know that I had a knife on me. Like, you know, they just thought they're just letting in a nice guy. A nice guy, you know what I mean? So I don't really... Actually, I think one of the bouncers, I'd gone somewhere one night and one of the bouncers was there. But something happened. I was with a couple of guys and a couple of guys giving it big un. So me personally, I've took it upon my own shoulders to throw it on these like group of guys. Obviously, it's calmed down. Well, not obviously, but it calmed down. And some guys come and approach me. I thought he's one of their like man that's on the side. So I'm a bit, cause obviously he's big, but he's like, yo, talking about such and such, like my size and what happened there, and I should be a bouncer if I thought about it and this and that. And I can see that he's actually what he's wearing. So obviously I'm a bit of drink and that. He's got his blacks on, like his black clothes, like he's just come off duty or something. Do you know what I mean? I was like, oh, I work here, such and you should come there. Da, da, da. So that's how I got there. And, you know, I just walk, you know how it goes, you walk past the queue and you just get lane. So, yeah. Where was I? Just had a piece of cake. Lips feel sweet and blood cloud. Fitness pocket, I don't know where I am. He said he was searched when he entered the club, but the knife was not discovered. I asked Mr. Brown if he had any indication that he might have seriously injured the two victims. Given the extent of the injuries, it would be expected that he would have blood on himself or his clothes, but he stated he had not and did not realise he had used the knife in the altercation until he was informed by the arresting police officers. He now says he is disgusted with himself. I wasn't disgusted at that time. I didn't even know what that emotion was. Like, I don't really think I was disgusted. But it's because of the lifestyle. When something disgusting happens, because of what I've realised to be callousness now and a lack of empathy, it's just like, whoa, something's happened, and now I'd be disgusted. Because I understand right from wrong, and I've got a set of morals and values, which I didn't then. They were constantly ebbing and flowing to a degenerative level, just more degenerative as time goes by, as more and more sick things are happening. But it's like something disgusting happens, and it's like, well, that's what you do, that's what happens. That's what you do, that's what happens, you know what I mean? Like, and that's it. It just becomes normalised real quick because it's just, I mean, I think the first thing I've said already when that guy knocked that guy's teeth out, and that was the first thing that kind of knocked me for six, and it was like, whoa. But then I just went, well, that's what happens, because I just kept seeing it constantly after that, do you know what I mean? Where was I? Disgusted. Where disgusted? Disgusted with himself for the way he behaved, especially as he lost a close friend in a knife attack a few years ago. Yeah, I would have seen anything. So let's go back to this. So yeah, I was in the club. So what happened? What happened is I've gone to meet my friend. He's doing his thing. I'm doing my thing. Trap stars, whatever. Finished. Come check him. He's not ready. I'm Bex. I'm ready. So I've been showered, got my clothes. I'm ready. He's not. We've had to fly out, come back. Everything's shut now. So I want to do like a 10 o'clock thing or whatever. Work our way down slowly. Boom, boom, boom. See what's about. Have a few drinks. Have a bit of banter, possibly. And that's about it. You know. End up in Paris. I used to like going to Paris. You see. And so that's all gone out the window, and I'm like upset about it. But I'm also upset because of the trap thing. I am encroaching. Where I'm positioned on like 3 areas. Do you know what I mean? And I'm taking customers, and people aren't happy. So people are. What happened was I got a phone call. Yeah, I used to go home between like 4 and 6 because I used to drive about, and like between 4 and 6 was pressure. It was like stupid because it took me forever. It took me 25 minutes to go like 3 minutes away. Do you know what I mean? Because the woolly per traffic. So I just fly home, have a nap, fly back. Got a phone call around them times there. You know, boom, do you want this? There's 2 of them there, gone down there, just sleep, you know, just boom. Got him. I'm getting in the car. It's like a nice summerish day. Like I'm just like burning a smoke like a cigarette. You know what I mean? Benson Silver used to smoke them days there. I just be sat there with my arm on the window. So like Benson Silver, if you know him, they're like nothing to him. So the wind's just like blowing it down. So they have to like chain smoke like 3 just to get 1 out of it or whatever. I used to definitely like chain smoke 2 on a regular anyway. But anyway, got there now. I'm still sleepy mode. You know what I mean? Because being back on road, I don't really feel the same. I feel a bit more sluggish, a bit harder to wake up. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm not like over 25 is like different to under 25. So I was like 26, 27. I was 27. Yeah, I was 27, yeah. Because that was the only birthday I had out between sentences. Then I was back in for like another, like fucking 6 or 7 birthdays. I think I was back in for another 7 birthdays. So I had like 1 birthday in like 10, 11 years. Anyway, 1 birthday out. Anyway. Yeah, so anyway, pulled up now. One girl jumped in the passenger, one jumped in the back. I said, "Here's a better drive." I'm like, what? Drive? You've got to go on, you better drive now. I'm thinking, what? And I said, woo! I turn around and there's like 3 men in the same whip as me, both in Astra. Both in Astras. My man's like, the driver's going ballistic. Asking me who I am, where I'm from. I'm like, I'm still sleepy mode. You get me? So let me put this down in the piece, pull this mic a bit closer so I can look to my right. So I'm looking like out of the window. And yeah, so the passenger and the rear passengers like kind of like, when I'm looking at him, they're looking at me. When I look at them, they're looking away. So I wasn't really too fussed. I thought, got this in the bag. Do you know what I mean? He looked about my age, the driver, but the 2 youngers looked like inexperienced roadman. They didn't look like, yeah, man, like I thought, this is not a big deal. 3-on-1 is not a big deal right now because it's really just 1-on-1 and a couple of nuisances. You know them ones. He's going ballistic, where you from? I told him where I'm from, who you chill with, And after a bit, like obviously I'm coming round a little bit, like what? Like, who are you? What are you talking about? It's like, they're just going ballistic. She's telling me to drive. She's saying my shotting name. She's like, yo. She's like, drive. He's got a silver gun. He showed us a silver gun. It's in the glove compartment, yeah. I thought, what do I do? Do you know what I mean? Because I could, like, it would be nice to just get out and have a little do with these guys. Do you know what I mean? Because it won't be anything special. I don't think any one of them, I don't think they've got it in them, really. Like, they might be able to beat up people that they can beat up, but I don't think they can do it to me. Definitely not the 2 other ones. Do you know what I mean? Because they ain't got a clue what's going on. They, like, need to be told what to do. And I don't think he knows what to tell them. You know, them ones there. So, big up them man anyway, yeah? No problems. I don't even know him anyway, like, but, yeah. Where was I? So I thought, but I'm parked in like a bay, like where the curb like cuts in, so you can park in it. So like they're on an actual road and I'm parked in, and there's like cars in front of me and I can't get out that easy. But he's parked like literally parallel to me. Like our doors are like lined up like perfectly thinking, because he's leaning forward in front of his brethren. His brethren's just looking and he's like leaning over like so. And like I said, going spare. It was quite funny. It's like he can't even get his words out. It was going absolutely bonkers because I've shut their phone down. Their phone's shut. Obviously, the sales used to show me like, look at these texts they're sending now. They used to be horrible bastards breaking arms and that. Now they're being proper nice and that. Sunshine and asking about the weather and that. So me I move. You have to change the size of them thing and but it's not even to brag about, you know what I mean? But I'm just telling you a story, yeah. This is preluding this. What happened on the night of the whatever it was, the 7th of June 2015. Anyway, I thought I'm gonna get out of here. And he's telling me to get out of the car or something. I can't remember. I think he did. I can't really remember what he said, but it was something. He wants something to happen. So I goes, yeah. I goes, all right. I goes, right then. I goes, you want me to move your car then? I goes, oh, let me just pull up then. Been around and pulled up. Like this is what I mean. Just know that these men don't know where I'm going because I literally would have just gone a little bit further forward. It would have been a bit of a nightmare for him to get out of the back. Because like I say, it's like over the curb. There's like a fence there. So this would have blocked that little bit in, so it can't get through because the car in front can't get through that gap. I would have jumped out and brushed him. That's it. That's that. Would have been in, tried to get the keys. Would have been a madness. Would have just rushed him, so he just don't know what to do. He ain't driving off, you know what I mean? And then he's like obeyed me, and he's moved the car. I must have told him to back up, but because I drove. I just went spun out, skirt, bumped up there, sucked that dangerous, like left it to give way. Could have got smashed into, like, because it's still a little bit rush hour-ish. You know what I mean, like they've like hard tried to follow me, but they know better because they're from them ends and they know that's a dangerous thing. But I've sucked it, just like alhamdulillah, you know, I made it. Sucking down there, flying down there. Obviously, they know I'm flying towards the ends and they're just cut off. But I'm Bex. I'm at this piss take. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed, yeah. And yeah, just, you know, you're just rolling with the thing there, you're just ready to light up whatever, and he's just stupid at the end of the day, but, you know, he's just, I couldn't handle, and because they were the sales, they've been on whipping off with these sales in the car, they're like, are you mental? Obviously, they didn't know what was going to happen, do you know what I mean? Like, and obviously, they live that, they're on the streets, and they live that life, so they've been through some trauma, do you know what I mean? But I'm not trying to do anything with these, like, but they're in the car and I'm getting off, you know what I mean? But anyway, I've seen in the mirror that on the last roundabout they've like sucked off because they don't want to come, you know what I mean, to the ends. And I got to like the next roundabout and I just took a left and parked up and just dealt with them and they bounced. Trying to take me back up. So, yo, get the fuck out of the car. And yeah, thinking this didn't go there for like a few hours and I thought, fuck this, that's my patch, you know what I mean? Back up there. Well, it's their patch, but me didn't accommodate. Anyway, so yeah, so there were 4 men in the toilets. Me, the 2 victims, and the freshen up guy. He said there's 3 man. I'm saying there's 4. I'm thinking maybe there's a bit of racism going on there. I don't know what's going on. He started switching, telling me shut the fuck up, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I think the freshen up man's left by now. I've decided in my mind I'm going to use my weapon now. What else was there? My brethren wasn't there. As I've finished up and I'm leaving, he's just opened the doors. I'm about to open the door. He's pushed it open. And then whoever, like the first guy that I attacked, he must have seen him then. Because my brethren didn't know anything was going on. So yeah. I didn't drop the knife. The knife blade broke off the handle. So I left with the handle and the blade was there. Yeah, I'm disgusted now because I know what that's about. Do you know what I mean? Like, and like I said, so all of that, what happened there was like a nothingness. Do you know what I mean? Like, man, chat shit, get banged kind of thing. You know the ones like, but obviously, man, with the uckers, you know the ones, and it doesn't matter what it's about. Like, you can't chat to man like a little bit. Do you know what I mean? So that's why that happened. And because it's the pent upness of that thing happening with them, man, they're thinking they're taking the piss, trying to like, what, shoot me or whatever, like what? And then my brethren taking the piss, like, what, you're not even expecting us to be ready? Like, we've said we're going to be ready, you're not ready. Working a little chicken shop job, like, what you doing? Like, get the fuck ready. Do you know what I mean? Fuck the chickens off, you know what I mean? And then these, man, on top of it, like, it's pressure. Do you know what I mean? Like, that they just got what everybody else, like, I'm not really going to do my bridging in, you know what I mean? And then it's a bit more techier with the other man because there's woolly for them, you know what I mean? Like, and it's just, a big tit for tat. I'm trying to shut him, met P. You know what I mean? And to be honest, I thought I could get away with this. Because, like, it's just one of them things, like, so where normally people say, like, in a club or pub or whatever, like, oh, come outside and have a scrap or whatever, like, we never did that in a club. We'd say, come to the toilets because there's no cameras there. You know, the ones there. But things have changed since I'd been in jail and come out. Things have changed in that time. Like, these cameras weren't shitty cameras no more. They were fucking top-notch, fucking HD, 4K LED, ULED, you know what I mean? Like, mad things, like there's no getting away anymore. Like, but I didn't know this. And like I say, so it's just such a silly thing. Even if he wanted to kick off and say what you want about, blah, 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 there's only 3 of us here when I'm blatantly 4 of us here, do you know what I mean? And then me thinking, I can do whatever. I could have left. Do you know what I mean? Like, I could have walked away. Like, I can see that now, but at the time, I couldn't walk away. That wasn't an option. Me walking off was not an option. Like, me only walking off was if I got the respect from the banter or whatever. So, such a silly thing. And I just think of, like, all the other things that have happened. The other murders, the other... knife attacks, gun attacks, attempts. It's not, there's nothing worth, do you know what I mean? Unless it's like something like, I guess, someone doing something to you, like shooting or stabbing or beating you up and then you getting them back. But then what started that? Do you know what I mean? But I'm not saying, so just say someone did me in, stabbed me up, and it's because I told him to fuck off when we were playing pool or something. I'm not saying I've started it by saying that. It's just all weird. Do you know what I mean? It's not, what I'm saying is basically, forget that example. There's no excuse for doing somebody in. Do you know what I mean? It's just all pettiness. It's all pettiness. It's all fragility. People being fragile, emotionally fragile, can't take it. Like, they can't take that embarrassment, or they can't take that hurt or that pain. Do you know what I mean? Or that upset. So then they have to do like the wicked man thing, like the wickedness. It's like but it's not like just the in the moment thing. It's because what I've realized, it's from past trauma. So where you was hurt, where you was, embarrassed, where you was shamed, and you couldn't do nothing about it back then, like in childhood, you can do something about it now, or you made like some vow at some point, or that'll never happen to me again, and you do whatever, whether it's a man or a woman. You know what I mean? Like, so a lot of these people, like, so they've got past traumas that just needs dealing with, and that's why I advocate hardcore for therapy, and that's the reason I'm going to go through this. I'm going to go through my therapy report with you. So I was speaking to someone the other day actually, and they've done some therapy and they liked it, and they wants to see my stuff on YouTube. And they said, "Oh, do you know what? It's nice to hear someone say positive things about therapy, because normally people like reject them, like, oh, I don't need therapy, what's it, a lot of shit." But it's because people don't get it, don't understand what they're supposed to do, like how hard a journey it is. It's hard, but it's easy at the same time. Do you know what I mean? It's hard because it's brand new, and because you're used to quick fixes. You're feeling pain right now, take these tablets, couple of minutes, pain's gone. Do you know what I mean? You've got like, your face is hanging off. You go into the hospital to do your face up, you've come out, your face is back on. Do you know what I mean? So we're used to these quick things, do you know what I mean? So things that take time and need to be worked on, people that don't want to do it because they're not used to doing it. It's a hassle, it seems, and it doesn't work because the feelings are so strong. Like, if people can't even like explain it to just how the feeling, it's all feelings, you know what I mean? Think about it. Anytime you've hit someone, anytime you shouted at someone, anytime you've like kicked something or broke something or stormed off or whatever, it was a feeling that made you do it. Just imagine if you didn't have that feeling. Think of any of these instances that I'm giving you. Alhamdulillah. Think of any of these instances that I'm giving you and think about what did you feel when you walked off, when you did these things? What was it that you felt? Do you know what I mean? Name that feeling. Because when you feel that feeling makes you do that. Name all the instances, not just one. Do you know what I mean? What was your feeling when it happened? Because that's the issue. It's the feeling and what you do. The feeling will always come up. Like, I still feel like this at some point. Because what therapy can do, once you work on the real issues, like if you go to my Instagram, DQNQ_lifestyle, you'll see like my new post, or one of the latest posts, where it's got like a picture of the front of the therapy report and the picture of the prison, which is like a carousel. And it's got I've written out what the TC does, I mean, multimodal. So when you deal with a lot of these issues from the past, if not all of them, as much as you put forward is as much as you can work on. And I put bare shit forward, bare shit. I think I was like the only guy at that time to put everything forward to be able to work on it. So just to the issues that I've got in the present moment, it'll either completely take them away because I've dealt with it back then, because it's all back then stuff, remember. Either completely takes it away so I don't feel that way or react that way when someone says something to me or something happens. It dramatically reduces it, so it's not as redlining. Whoa, I'm fucking, you know what I mean? It's just like, whoa, I'm angry, like I'm upset here. Do you know what I mean? So you can still see the wood for the trees, or it might still be redlining, just fucking motherfucker. Do you know what I mean? But I'd know that I'd act like that, but it's a choice. I can act like this. You know what I mean? So this guy's screaming in my face, going, yeah, black me, this and that, da, 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 da. And it's upsetting me. It's hurting my feelings. Do you know what I mean? I feel embarrassed to think in front of a lot of people. Like I could start attacking him. Easily. Just, we can start fighting. Whether I win or lose, we can start fighting. I can start throwing blows. If he's not throwing blows, I can just start that. But I also can just, if I can walk off, if he's just like saying it, just stood there saying it, I can just walk off. Do you know what I mean? So the altercation that I get into with him is going to get me into problems, because it might be like a brief back and forward thing, or it might be just because of, it's one of them ones you have a fight and then it's like the fastest person to ring the police. Because if he rings the police on me, if I just go home and he rings the police on me, then I'm fucked. Because then when it comes to like counter thinking, it's just a bit of a daft thing, because it's like, oh, well, why didn't you do the first? It's like, the law looks at it in a certain way, justice or whatever, like, or I might mash him up bad, them ones there. And then he's in, and it's looking mad, you're getting higher charges, higher assault charges, like, so I fucking had enough of them. I've had 3 of the bastards, you know what I mean? And it's leaving me with problems. It's going to affect my daily life. I'm going to be worrying about like court and going there and whatnot. So it's going to affect family. They're going to be worried about me and whatnot. Financially, it'll affect me. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's just a lot of stuff going on, a lot of consequences for these daft actions. But if I just walk away, yes, I am going to feel like I'd feel ashamed that I walked away, that I let this happen. Do you know what I mean? And it'd be embarrassing if it didn't happen in front of a certain group of people. But those feelings will dissipate. These feelings will dissipate. Yeah, they'll just disappear, leave me like a bus coming. A bus of shame and a bus of like embarrassment and a bus of hurt, and then buses will leave and I don't feel that no more. Whether it's like 10 minutes later, 10 hours later, 10 days later, 10 weeks later, it's going to go. But guess what? I don't have to worry about court. I don't have to worry about flipping being in the cells for ages. I don't have to worry about what the consequences are going to be. I don't have to worry about going back to jail. I don't have to worry about fucking like my family being worried. I don't have to worry about my job. Like I've left better off. Do you know what I mean? Because for one, what that person was saying to me is their issue. They felt like that. They feel the need to hurt my feelings. I mean, they feel the need to call me names, be racist, try to goad me into a fight. That's their issue. And guess what? They'll do it to somebody else. And they'll do it to somebody else. And another person that they do it to might do them in. They might feel that they can attack that person. So they attack that person and they go jail. And they've got all those things, that roller coaster of stuff that I just said, that they're going to go through all that. These people that cause drama and try to like kick off a ritty-titty-tur, just like that night with what I do with my thing, what you just read, I just read there. Do you know what I mean? That's their version. That's the that's the probation's version. Obviously, the bare versions. You know what I mean? The probation version of what happened there. Do you know what I mean? And I got there for the consequences. So I've attacked this, and on the roads I'm or whatever. Or in my own mind I'm whatever, and I can carry this like I did this, that, and the other. But in the end, I think like they got compo and they healed and they're just doing their thing. And I'm doing a lengthy prison sentence. Like, what? Like, not just harming me, Mrs., Mom, Dad, whoever else cares. Do you know what I mean? And that's that. Do you know what I mean? Like, mental, son, like, absolutely mad things. But yeah. So, like I said, someone that kicks off all the time, always causing drama, always whatever, they're feeling negative feelings. And as much as they might say, yeah, well, I told him, or I told her, and I da. Like, so it seems like, yeah, go on, mate, or, you know what I mean, or go on, love. But no, it's not. They might make it sound like, yeah, they enjoy doing that, but it's negative feelings So when when you feel a negative feeling, when you're feeling sad, hurt, lonely, angry, you don't feel nice. You don't enjoy it. When you're feeling, I'm the burps again. When you're feeling vulnerable, when you're feeling ashamed, when you're feeling fucking, just whatever, anything negative, anything that's not happy or content. Do you know what I mean? Or overjoyed, or something like this. Like, it's a negative feeling. It doesn't feel nice. And these people go through this roller coaster all the time. So they're always feeling horrible. Do you know what I mean? Even if they're fighting all the time, even if they're just always like walking around with like face of thunder and they're not happy. It's not a happy person. Like, they just feel rotten all the time. Do you know what I mean? Like, they might have the little laughs and that, but then again, like I said, we're going to take it where I take it a lot of times. When are they happy? When they're high? When they're drunk? You know what I mean? And then in the end of it all, they do all that same shit anyway, yeah? So that kind of counterbalances it into the negative feeling, on top of ruining their relationships in the next. So it's not just what you've done in the moment. Then you're left with the long-standing stuff. Like I said, the shame that stands for years, months, whatever, like, of what you did, how you ruined that relationship, how you feel shit that you've, like, beat up that friend or argued with that friend, but you're too proud to apologise. Or maybe they're so hurt that they don't want the apology. So then you've got to be like, oh, well, fuck them anyway if they don't want me. Do you know what I mean? It's all mad. It's all mad. Anyway, it's like, I'm ill. I'm going to have to cut this one a bit short. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying, but I know so you do, because you're my people, innit? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You get it. Marcus, DQ Lifestyle Podcast.